Good everyone, welcome to this video. Today it's a review on the J7W1 Shinden. Now this aircraft is, as you can tell, it's pretty unique. I mean, other than the XP-55 and a couple of other aircraft, there isn't really a lot of pusher aircraft in War Thunder. Obviously there's the 335 as well. And I'll be brutally honest, I underestimated this plane quite a bit. Whenever I see these things, they tend to be flown by idiots, and yeah, they're not really like when you see an idiot flying something, you don't tend to think much of it. Then obviously you get your hands on it yourself, and it turns out to be a beast. That's the case with the J7W Shinden. So the J7W1 is armed with quad 30mm Type 5 cannons, and these are great cannons. They're a bit sparky when they're stock, but once you get traces in them, they work like a charm. Now, obviously, with it being designed to intercept aircraft, such as bombers like B-29s, you would expect this thing to get an air spawn. Unfortunately, no. This thing does not get an air spawn, which I can see the reasoning, but at the same time, this is an intercept guide, and this thing was kind of designed to kill bombers from what I've seen. But hey, it's just Gaijin being Gaijin. Now I did see that, well I've heard also from Birdie Bird that this thing could apparently, well they're actually thinking of putting a jet engine on this thing, which I would not be surprised if it actually worked. However, I would also imagine it being something like the J21 R8 and snapping its wings off the second it goes over 700 miles or 700 kilometers an hour. But hey, we'll just have to see about that. The airframe seems to be able to take quite good dives, so I think even with this thing having a jet engine, I think it would actually work pretty well. But obviously, I don't even know if the jet engine version was even built, so I can't say for certain. So, what are we powered by? Because obviously, we have a six-bladed prop, which. Is there actually any other aircraft in game with a six-bladed prop? I don't mean contra-rotating, like on a C5. That doesn't count. Is there any other aircraft in game that has a six-bladed prop? If so, let me know in the comments. But we are powered by a Mitsubishi HA4342 18-cylinder radial, pushing out about 1700 horse on 100%, I should say, and about 2000 on web. Now, I'll be brutally honest, this aircraft works the best at high altitudes, as you can tell by the stat card. This thing really gets into its stride above 22,000 feet, which is around about 7 kilometers. That's really where this thing tends to kick into gear and really get moving. Now, obviously, with this aircraft being a Japanese aircraft, it's not exactly the most durable, and that is correct. With the engine being mounted in the rear, you are very susceptible to engine fires, and also, obviously, wing tank fires. The aircraft has 4 main fuel tanks, but obviously there is an additional one in the inside of the aircraft, although that never gets shot. Obviously, the wings are quite susceptible to fires, and there is the oil cooling systems in the wings. So even if your fuel doesn't get hit, your oil probably will, and it will leak out very quickly. So just be aware of that. So durability isn't this aircraft's strong suit. What do the guns feel like? Well, you only get 60 rounds a gun. Not particularly great, but once you get the hang of the guns, they work amazingly well. What I recommend is if playing any other Japanese aircraft that has these 30mm before you even start playing this aircraft, such as the J5N1, the Ki 83, maybe even the R2Y2s, give those a go since they're nose mounted as well. Same with the Ki 200. Kika could also be an option as well. These aircraft will get you into a better stride for when you play the Shinden, because obviously you only have 30mm in this thing. Same with the R2Y2s, same with the Ki 200, and same with the Kika. And well, you're not getting a Ki 84 high review for a while, because that thing is garbage at its current BR. You get to uptier to fight vampires, and it isn't pleasant. But yeah, this aircraft was pretty capable. The guns weren't great against ground targets, and the bomb load is not much to say about either. 2 60-kilogram bombs or 4 60-kilogram bombs. These are like dropping hand grenades. I personally wouldn't advise them. Let's just say that if you really need to derp, put the 20s put the 30s onto ground targets. Practice Tracer actually has 23mm of penetration, which I don't get how. It's a practice round. But apparently the 30 mils for the Japanese did have AP rounds, although I cannot confirm this. If anyone does have any sources, again, comments below, please. But yeah, I enjoyed the aircraft. It was very nice to fly. At first, it was a bit of a dog because obviously it was stock, but once I got into the swing of things with this vehicle, I actually really enjoyed it. So, let me just find the aircraft because, well, you know what I'm like. 55% win rate, mostly up tiers against jets. 2 deaths, 20 ground kills, 20 air kills, and 31 ground units, and a couple of landing craft with the 30 mils. You only have to hit a landing craft once to kill it, so that's always nice. But yeah, I really enjoyed this aircraft and I recommend people giving it a go if you haven't already. It is certainly a good aircraft. Do I think it's the best aircraft they've flown in the Japanese tech tree? It's up there, but I would give that crown to the Ki 83 or the J7W1, and for single engine fighters, the A7M, possibly even one of the Ki 84s. So as you can tell, we're on one of the probably the worst maps that you could get for a J7W, and that's Poland. You get a lot of time to climb, but other than that, there's not really a lot going for it. And yes, folks, what you saw there was Hairy Feet flying a 198.5 in a 7-0 game. Now, unfortunately, Hairy Feet has a connection problem at this time. He doesn't have it now, from what we've been able to establish. Essentially, his cable guy swapped the cables around, and well, yeah, it was. I bet you his neighbour's going to be rather surprised when he learns he's got 600 plus, or like 200 plus ping all of a sudden. But yeah. So in this battle, obviously, we're fighting jets, and we're fighting I believe it's a 4-man squad of MT2 guys. They're flying or 3 of them are flying Spitfire Mark 24s. 1 of them is flying an A21RB jet. I reckon the guys who are flying the Spitfires were probably spading them. And as you can tell, if I just go to normal camera here, they're quite high up. They're Mark 24s, and well, they're above even 30. And obviously there is an additional Bearcat there as well. So the objective here is to try and climb. And obviously I wasn't too sure of what to do at first. I was thinking we need to remove these Sky Knights, which I thought was a valid decision. Obviously there's only 1 left, I've not got much altitude to begin with anyway. But it's at this point where Bertie's actually calling me for backup. So I decided I'm just going to go, and obviously there goes Harry, obviously with his connection issue. He doesn't have that now, thankfully. It's a lot better when you've got Harry for you to watch your back, let's just say that. But as you can tell, I'm trying to climb up, and obviously Bertie's struggling on his own. He's got a 4-man squad engaging him. He does have a couple of teammates to back him up, but obviously I'm trying to get up here to back him up. Trust me, it's much better if I just skip the damn battle because it took me so long to climb up, because obviously I wanted to engage the Sky Knights at first. But then obviously Bertie was calling me for backup. Now for some reason Bertie appeared to have the bombs on in this battle. I reckon he must have forgotten to take them off, or alternatively he just wanted them on. I don't know, did it work like a speed break? I mean, I can understand it, but giving yourself a handicap in a 6-7 game, well sorry 6-0, well not 6-0, 7-0 game is not exactly preferred. But he's soon dropped the bombs, I think he finally realised. But unfortunately, a Bearcat has just set him on fire. And trust me, if there's one thing that's funny, it's whenever Bertie rages and goes such bullshit, because it's a nice guy to fly with, but it's also pretty funny when that happens. Take a couple of hits to the wing, and I take a bit of a hit, but that's okay. Mustang there lost his wingtip. I missed and there goes the scream. That's when you know Bertie's been shot down. I missed the A21, but I did miss the Mustang, and the Mustang obviously he's trying to turn for some reason. I don't know what made him think that, but I lined him up, and there we go. That's the Mustang removed. Probably one of the more dangerous aircraft at this altitude. Kill number 1. Now before, I can't remember his name in the comments, I think it's Nerd2007 or something like that. There is a sub who keeps asking about which Spitfire. Again, the Mark 24 is probably the most dangerous Spitfire in this aircraft. It's very capable at doing its job against this thing. That's the A21 dealt with. I just blew off his elevator, but obviously his mate is not happy. And I mean, I would be not happy if you just shot down one of the faster aircraft on the team. So you can sort of understand his frustration. There goes the jet. Kill number 2. That's a jet kill. But obviously, since that is not a 7.0 jet, I do not get the award rank, does not matter. At least, I don't remember getting it, so they may have changed it. But at this point, I'm trying to reclimb. I've still got 2 Spitfires up here left that are on comms. Obviously, I've killed one of their squad, and I want to deal with the rest of them. Mark 24 Spitfires are very capable in good hands. And the J7W is more than capable of dealing with them. You just have to know what you're doing. So at this point, I thought, okay, I've got enough altitude. Let's turn around. Let's give this J6K a hand. And sure enough, I can actually give him a hand. Once I level out against the speed, and well, obviously I'm on 4 times speed, but it does accelerate quite well at this altitude. This is really where the J7W gets into its stride, because this thing is designed for this sort of altitude. Obviously it's meant to go higher in reality to catch B-29s, but you can beat the space climbers at their own game with this thing. I'm fairly certain of that. Obviously Bert is spectating me. Obviously I want to deal with the Spitfires. These Spitfires are highly dangerous aircraft to me. They're just as maneuverable as me, they climb just as well as me, and they arguably have better guns for this sort of thing since they have more ammo. So I'm trying to get the shot here. Obviously I'm looking to get a shot on the Spitfire. I've put a couple of rounds. You can see the sparking. Traces is not guaranteed not sparking, but once you get a shot in that actually does some damage, you can blow a Spitfire to hell. Kill number 3. And here comes the dive speed coming into effect. We're pushing nearly 500 miles an hour. The aircraft does actually handle pretty well, but there's nothing this small Spitfire can do. Pilot snipe with a 30mm. I think he had a significant emotional event, but unfortunately we lose this battle, as you can probably tell by the tickets, and that's where I learned in this battle that the bombs are complete dog shit. So yeah, the J7W1, highly recommend this aircraft. It's very capable, very good in the right hands, and it's perfect for intercepting bombers. Just watch the fuel tanks. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys off. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all on the next one.